we do know that winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Is that a good accent?
Is that your best Game of Thrones accent?
They all speak very differently.
Give me your best Dothraki accent.
I don't know any Dothraki. I don't know any what they say.
Could have fooled me.
Hardly Working, the podcast about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kellie.
And I'm SP, and welcome to season 4. That's right. You've made it all the way here, past the 50th episode. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, but do come to season 4. And with that, let's get right into the giveaway.
Yeah, I was like, don't come to season 4 unless you've commented on or seen our giveaway on Instagram at Hardly Working Insta. And you've commented on the post for your chance to win $100.
Yeah, and another 2 chances to win $100.
Yeah, 2 chances to
win. 2
win.
different chances. Give them the heads up, the recap of what we're doing, what they need to do in order to get there, because we won't be announcing our winner until next week.
That's true. Well, it's our we just hit our 50th episode, and so in honor of that, we each decided to give away $50 to each of our favorite places. Me, Target; him, Amazon. And so 2 lucky winners are going to get $50 each to Target and Amazon. All you have to do is enter at Instagram at our Hardly Working Insta. I keep wanting to say .com, but that's not what it is. I know, seriously. Go to find us at Hardly Working Insta. Find that giveaway. You can't miss it. It says giveaway. It's a picture of the 2 of us goobers. Click the comment button. Tag somebody that you think would like listening to our show, and make sure you're following us. And then if you want an extra entry, go ahead and tag a topic that you'd like us to talk about here on the podcast, or something you'd like us to talk about more. That's
perfect. The only thing I would add is March 17th is the last day to do any of that. Mm-hmm. Sunday, March 17th, 2024, the year of our Lord. Make sure you do that. The Dragon, I think. Sure.
House of Dragons!
Segue. But yes, Sunday, March 17th is the last time to do it, and we want to give you a bunch of money, so go do that. House of Dragons. Year of our Lord, Year of the Dragon. Kellie is neck deep in Westeros. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I can no longer say this, but I'll say it right now. I had never watched Game of Thrones. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
It was a really big deal. Like, it came out in like 20...
Who knows?
I think I looked it up the other day because I was curious. I think it came out in 2011. Because Tonks is in it, and I was like, was she doing this the same time she was doing the last Harry Potter? No, yeah, it was a year after. I'm pretty sure she'd done Harry Potter before this. In 2011, the year after I graduated high school. I never watched it. Not one episode did I ever watch. I had no interest in watching it.
Was that because you don't like that genre? Because you don't. I don't know if I'm outing you here, but you're not like a Lord of the Rings person. That fantasy, sci-fi kind of stuff, not your thing.
It was never really my thing. And to be completely honest, I was like, you say I'm neck deep in Game of Thrones. I was neck deep in the church, and like nudity was a big no. We're not going to watch that on the screen. But, we decided to give it a chance a couple days ago. We did. We started. We watched the very first episode together.
Yep.
And you were like, this isn't really for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like this. That was last Sunday.
I don't know. I think it was before I left for Austin.
Yeah. So that was a couple days ago.
2 weeks ago. No, 10 days ago.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
I'm on season 3, episode 10. So I'm
Which
just about to go into season 4.
Yeah.
The Red Wedding just happened. For those of you that know, I had no idea. I think I sat there with my mouth wide open. I almost cried. I was like, what is freaking happening right now?
I knew that much. I knew the Red Wedding was going to be brutal. I didn't tell you anything.
I know. I only know one thing. I only know one person that dies, but I understand that this person doesn't die until the very end. And I'm very excited about watching their story. And it doesn't bug me that they die at the end, because I'm like, well, you're at the end. Like, of course. I just had no idea. It was such a beautiful storyline that was happening. And I was like so invested. I was like, this is so great. I'm rooting for people to be reunited again. And they're so close. And the Red Wedding happens. And I was shocked and devastated. And am like, where do we go from here? Because the only family outside of...
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't watched it by now, where are you?
Well, I mean, we'll have a weekly check-in with,
I guess,
Kellie watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I'm really like Daenerys Targaryen. She's but I really like Emilia Clarke. So that was a big reason why I wanted to start watching this, because I really like her.
Yeah.
So I'm really invested in her. But there was one other family, like one other storyline that I was really invested in, and they all are no longer here anymore. And so now I'm like, will I be invested? I think I will keep watching. but I'm like,
You're going to watch all of it.
But I
that's
know
how
that
you're
there's
wired.
8 seasons, and we looked up, and we're only at the end of season 3, and I'm like, I have to go 5 more seasons without these people.
Yeah. You'll fall in love with other people, I'm sure.
Jon Snow for the win.
Let's hope so.
Hey.
Anyway, so that's been Kelly's big thing for the last few weeks. We haven't recorded in a couple weeks.
Not weeks.
Yeah,
It's
days.
been days.
Oh, it's sad. But we haven't recorded for a couple weeks in between seasons. Since then, I went to Austin for kind of like a work retreat. Which was very good. Had some great barbecue from a place called Franklin's, which if you know Austin and barbecue, this is not a new tip for you, but Franklin's, we got brisket there and it was delicious.
That's great.
Highly recommend. Although
I didn't even know that, guys.
I don't tell Kelly anything unless it's on the show. We're not even actually married.
We don't talk
or anything.
until we get here. Yeah.
So we did that. If you're looking for a place, what's that?
Busy watching Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Don't talk to me.
Don't tell me about your brisket. I got dragons
if it's
brisketing
not rabbit,
things.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Because they eat lots of rabbit.
But yeah, check that out. The line is crazy long, so just be aware of that. But I also was in DC for a day or two with Kibo and Miles doing a Dueling DJs gig out there, which is one of the things that we do. We're just doing a corporate event. We did the after party for Taylor Dane is her name.
No
Taylor
idea.
Dane.
Yeah, Taylor Dane.
Nominated for a Grammy, Best R&B vocalist, female vocalist.
This year?
In the 80s. No, in the 80s. Lost to Whitney Houston.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how do you beat out Whitney Houston?
You don't.
She's pretty great. But that kind of gives you the level of who she is. And she did a great job. And we had a great time partying with them, closing out the night. It was weird because I didn't realize it, but we were in Washington, D.C. on Super Tuesday, on Election Day.
Yep.
And it was an interesting time to be in D.C. But anyway, that's kind of it. You've got some events coming up, which might be worth mentioning because we've been working hard on them throughout the week. We'll talk about it at the end of the show, but in case people don't make it to the end, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, I had a pretty crazy week last week with a ton of meetings, some for conferences, some with studios, some with individual event coordinators. It was a crazy, crazy week.
And by studios, do you mean like podcast studios?
No, I mean like I was gonna say Walt Disney Studios. That's not who I was meeting with.
Not at all. Just
but
to clarify.
It's a movie studio.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to communicate. I was gonna say like the Walt Disney Studios, like the big movie. They're a movie studio. They're called movie studios, guys. I'm dummy. It was not Walt Disney. That would be. It's like a dream. But besides the point, I've actually worked for Walt Disney Studios before.
That's true.
So
Dream accomplished.
Side note. But anyways, but yeah. So we're busy. We're busy starting on Sunday. I'll say this even though we're talking about it later, but we're going to the Academy Museum. Our friend Ashley May,
which is the Oscars Academy
Museum. Yeah. So we're going to go there to enjoy some of the Oscars, but then we're leaving there early because I'm working an Oscar party for the movie studio Neon Productions. They've come out with things like Parasite and their Anatomy of the Fall is theirs.
Their big one this year.
Which is like the big one that's nominated for tons and tons of stuff. They also did Ferrari.
Right. Yeah. The Jerry Bruckheimer production. Yeah.
But they're having an Oscars party and we'll be there. I'll be there.
Working it.
And then the following day I'm doing, it's all going to happen by the time this comes out, right?
Yeah. It will have happened by the time this airs.
The following day I'm doing a premiere for Paramount Plus. We're doing Little Wing. We're doing Photos in Motion for them. So I'm really excited about that. And then at the end of the week I have some sort of party. I actually have no idea what it is. I originally thought it was for Victoria's Secret, but I don't think it is anymore.
No,
but it's at Jim Henson Studios. So that's exciting too.
Yeah, we're familiar with working there.
Yeah.
This, though, is a very important time in our professional life, Cal, because it's the first time that you and your company has a world premiere in the same week that me and myself have a different world premiere.
That's right.
We're all each doing our own world premieres separate from each other, and neither of us, I think, will be at the other ones.
No.
So on Wednesday, when this comes out, I will be working, DJing, maybe doing some hosting. I'm not exactly sure what they're having me do. The world premiere for the continuation, the new series of X-Men 97.
I was like, I don't know what happens after that.
It does that. Then it goes. Anyway, so very excited about that. Yeah,
that doesn't sound like very X-Men.
It's pretty spot on.
That's a pretty big deal for each of us. High five to us working premieres,
working hard.
Woo, woo, woo.
Well, hardly working. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. So busy week for us next week, leading into another busy week. the following week, which we'll get to later. But
oh boy, yeah. Next week it's even crazier. But leave next week to next week. This week, we've got stuff to talk about, things to do, including wild and crazy Zany Brady stories, as well as, can you tell I'm just winging it?
Yes.
As well as unpopular opinions. And of course, on Friday, we're going back to our normal format of having Hardly Working Through It dropping on Friday. By the way, thank you to everybody who's letting us know what they want to hear more about. Gosh, I'd love more specifics, but Kelly likes the broad topics. So we're kind of piecing together what we want to do for Hardly Working Through It this season, but we're excited about it. So please keep sending in your thoughts. We really appreciate that. Anyway, you ready for to jump into some stories? You ready for a jump into some stories?
Yes.
I'm a professional speaker.
Okay. I don't know.
First things first.
Khaleesi. That's what I want to be called. Queen. Sorry. Okay.
Is that Khaleesi? Sounds like
Khaleesi is the Dothraki term for queen.
Oh, it sounds like the lady from Pirates of the Caribbean 2 that you meet in like the bayou kind of thing, and she turns into a big giant woman.
I don't know who she is, but yes, I understand.
Callista Flockhart, maybe. No, that doesn't seem right.
All right. Anyways, I'm ready for the story.
I'm excited because this is one of those rare times where we have a follow-up on a story that we've done before.
I'm ready.
Me?
Is it about AI?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I learned
I'm just kidding.
MI lesson.
You could.
I would never again. No, so if you've been with us since the beginning, I don't know what episode this was. I'm pretty sure it was in season 1, maybe season 2. But we talked about how scientists are trying to bring back unextinct the woolly mammoth. Do you remember this? Yes. Okay, so there's been a development on that.
Have they brought it back?
It's back, baby.
Nah, that's whack.
No, that's whack. They described it in the article. They were like, it's a huge development in this process, but it's like saying, did they bring it back is kind of like asking Neil Armstrong when he lands on the moon, like, are you going to go to Mars? It's like, bro, we're on the moon and this is incredible. Yeah. This is insane.
What have they done?
Okay, I will tell you. So here's a story. Scientists take a step closer to resurrecting the woolly mammoth. Scientists, I'm going to read kind of my bullet points here. Scientists have, for the first time, created, I'm sure I'm pronouncing this right, induced pluripotent stem cells for the mammoth's closest living relative, the Asian elephant. So if you remember, they were going to take DNA from a woolly mammoth, and they were going to kind of combine that with the Asian elephant, which is the closest living relative that they have. Fair. That's still the plan, as far as I know. The ultimate goal of creating herds of giant hairy beasts roaming in the wild again is what they're trying to do. Scientists can now try to cloning techniques and gene editing, which I know is probably something that people are like, this sounds bad. But it's not. They're going to use cloning techniques and gene editing to manipulate the cells in hopes of someday creating these elephants with key traits of mammoths, such as their heavy coats, layers of fat, that kind of stuff to survive in the cold. By the way, there's not many of these Asian elephants left. There's between like 30 to 50,000. So this could actually help that population as well. Colossal is the company that's doing it. It says Colossal has also suggested that woolly mammoths may have the capacity to revitalize Arctic grasslands. Without the heavy-footed herbivores, these are in danger. There is a danger that trees, moss, and scrubs? Yeah, I don't want no scrubs.
No scrubs.
Will take over too much of that land, which prevents them from penetrating the soil so easily. Arctic permafrost is one of the most critical topographies in the world, keeping carbon frozen underground, but it has been gradually thawing in a feedback loop that accelerates global warming. Yada, yada, yada. Bringing this back might actually, the reason for it might actually slow down global warming.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, there's a reason, not just to see like, can we play God? And they're not trying to create like an exact replica of the woolly mammoth, but something
that's similar to it.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a cool step. So they discovered this stem cell, or they created this stem cell so that they can probably do that combination. So it's one step closer to.
So, but there is no like woolly mammoth,
like a baby mammoth
right now. Yeah.
Not as far as I know.
Just a stem cell. Wasn't a shell. A stem shell.
Yeah. No, there's no woolly mammoth growing yet, and this is getting met with a lot of pushback. Obviously, I mean, when you talk about gene manipulation and that kind of stuff, a lot of people think that ethically that's wrong.
Yeah. Which I had to hold my tongue. I'm so sorry.
Do you feel that way?
No, I was going to say, is it the same people that think an embryo is a living baby?
Oh, we're going to get political today.
That's not political. I mean, that's just science. Is an embryo considered a child? At what point in time do we consider a child or baby to be a baby?
Yep.
Because the rules have changed.
And they keep changing.
By people that mostly aren't women and can't
Mostly
have
aren't
babies.
capable of having eggs and embryos.
Yeah. And I have my thoughts. Give me my rights to my body.
I agree.
It's what I want.
It's your body.
Yeah, we can talk, we can discuss when you think a baby becomes a baby all day long. But really what I care about is I just want to be able to control what happens to me and my body.
Yeah.
And nobody else to tell me what I have to do or can't do.
It is pretty
That's
wild.
all.
Yeah.
And
So
that can be taken as political. I get it. But I'm like, but if this is meant to help, I don't know.
so woolly mammoths.
Bring them back. But
Nah,
but here's the deal. But if it's something that's going to help with global warming, which is happening, I think it's worth trying.
Yeah,
and I don't think that they're telling something. I think they're creating something new in the same way that we've created strawberries that taste like peaches or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the fruits.
Is that true? Have we done that?
That'd be really cool. I don't actually think that's what it is.
Fake news. Oh, I'm so
Let's look it
sorry.
up.
Everyone comes to this show for real hard-hitting science
facts,
and news.
But they, you know what I mean? But they have like things that you can,
exactly.
like fruit that you can have where it's one thing, but you bite into it, it's something different.
Or you can have a fruit year round that seasonally wouldn't be able to happen before.
This to me is the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand I can understand the differences, but
but
to me, it's more like, you know how many different breeds of dogs and cats and all that kind of stuff we have because they've been crossbred, whether that's in nature or, in puppy farms and by people. Like this is kind of a part of the living process.
Yeah.
It's only really shocking because it's pseudo bringing back something that could no longer exist. But the truth is, like, it's not going to be a woolly mammoth.
It's going to be something similar, but
it's going to be a version of the Asian elephant.
Yeah.
So I think if you pitched it that way, well, you wouldn't get as much attention, which is bad. But then people wouldn't be like, stop playing God.
Yeah. I also go like, if we could bring back or keep alive animals that have either gone extinct or are going extinct, that like, I think it'd be cool. Not all animals. I don't bring the dinosaurs back. I don't need them.
Ask, can you think of an animal you'd want to bring back? I'd like to bring back the dodo bird. They were really cute and
it's gone now.
Are you serious? Yeah, they're extinct.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't tell you all the animals that are extinct, but like I know even now, like I wish I could have done research. I could have told you, but I know like they keep talking about like the last.
To be fair,
living,
I didn't tell you about this story.
I know you didn't.
You couldn't.
But like there are some animals where we only have a few of them left.
Yeah,
and they're in
endangered
zoos.
Species.
Yeah, but they're in zoos right now.
Right.
And that's it. And like they'll never be in the wild, never be a thing. And it's not because of natural causes. It's mostly because of poachers.
Hunting, yeah.
And so I go, if we can find something that can allow us to keep that alive, whether I want to say snow leopards, although I don't think
snow leopards are endangered.
Yeah. The bald eagle, are the bald eagles they're not endangered.
I think they are.
I think they are endangered. See, look, I'm doing a good job. I don't know enough.
You're really killing it in terms of making things up for sure.
But but you know what I mean? If we could do something that could elongate the lifespan or help to create more of its kind, like they're not hurting the world.
Yeah.
We're hurting it by our choices, by building, by deforestation. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Deforestation, by poaching, all that stuff. If we can come up with ways to actually, like I said, make endangered species not endangered anymore, it'd be great. Because some of these animals, it's only like them and their parents. So like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, once they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right here. It turns out when you look up extinct species, it's a lot.
Endangered species, recently extinct species.
Well, I mean, it's different to be in danger versus extinct, but I guess I've got some look, first one is rhinoceros.
Endangered?
Must be, because I've seen a rhinoceros recently.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think if you could put it in terms of like, hey guys, like rhinos.
Sarai?
I was like, is it rhinoceri? The rhinoceroses, the rhinos. I'm not doing well with speaking today, everybody. But if you could look at someone and be like, these people that are like, don't bring the woolly mammoth back or whatever. If you can look at them and be like, hey, the rhinos are endangered and will become extinct within the next 10 years. We found this thing that could potentially keep them, like we could potentially create our own to continue the breed. I don't think anybody would be like, don't do that. They'd be like, that's amazing that we could potentially make this animal that I've seen and know not become extinct. I think it's just because it's a woolly mammoth that no one has seen before. No, they're like, don't do that. You're playing God. I'm like, but if we could make it so that snow leopards and bald eagles and rhinos and whatever else, giraffes
kept surviving. Sure.
Giraffes aren't endangered, but you know what I mean.
They're in danger of having a terrible sore throat. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Or better yet, if I could look at you and say, hey, you know your dog that's 15 years old that you love so much? I found a way to make a copy of that dog.
Ooh, sometimes dead is better. This is like Pet Cemetery.
But you know what I mean? It's not exactly the same, but we're going to take your dog's DNA and we're going to mix it with something else, and it's going to be that.
Yeah.
Would you be like, don't do that? Would you be like, oh my God, I'd love that because I'd have like a piece of my dog?
Okay, so
I'm getting crazy now.
Let's get real.
I'm Dr. Frankenstein.
So if you could bring back your most beloved cat,
yeah,
a version of it,
yes,
would you?
Yes, a hypoallergenic. It would
not be the same thing.
A hypoallergenic version of Mocha using Mocha's DNA.
Okay,
100%.
if we had DNA to bring Elvis back, there's no assurance that it would be Elvis.
That's right. It would be. It'd be a version of
would
that.
Be the king of rock and roll.
You have to think that at least be similar.
Yeah, might look like the person or animal.
Look, you gave a bad example because I would do anything to bring my cat back. I would make sure that she was hypoallergenic so that you could be around her. But I would do anything to have another version of Mocha. I thought she was a very pretty cat, a very loving cat, the best animal ever. If I could bring Toast back.
Look, we tried to do that by buying a dog that looks just like him.
No, it's not the same.
That was not the same. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same.
Yeah, but it's not his DNA.
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
Yeah.
Same type of dog, though.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not.
Well, let me ask you, speaking of bringing things back, for some reason, I got 4 endangered species.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, tell us in the comments. In 1690, the dodo bird was extinct from predation.
Predators?
It says predation. I've never heard that.
Is that not like predator?
I'm sure, yeah.
Do you have a picture of the dodo bird?
You need to see the picture of a dodo bird? Yeah,
you want to know why? Because what's in my head,
it's like a big wonky chicken.
Yeah, it's probably.
I think it's flightless as a whale.
As whale.
Flightless as whale.
You know, it's funny when you say dodo bird, and here's the deal. I think I knew that that's what it looked like, but all that I can see in my head is the 3-headed bird from Pokemon. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, those are extinct as well.
Dodorio.
Dotrio. Doduo. Something like that.
So that's like, I was like, I know that that's not what it is.
Is he playing?
Like, I'm 100%
that's
sure.
Not real.
I just need to see it for myself so I can have a better view.
Okay, so dodo bird extinct because of pigs and cats. It's kind of funny. Bring it back or no, that's whack.
No, that's whack.
No, that's whack. I agree.
Yeah, you don't want to.
There's 3 more. In 1768, Steller's sea cow was extinct from hunting for fur and oil.
Oh, sea.
When I hear sea cow, I think manatee. Oil. Wait, fur. Yeah. Interesting. It doesn't have a photo. It's just a list.
Oh.
Bring it back or no, that's whack.
I don't know what it is.
Bring it back. Sure. If it's a furry sea cow, I'm for it. 2 more. Labrador duck. Extinct from human competition for mussels and other shellfish.
Aww.
Nah, that's whack.
Bring it back. I'm sad.
Last one. Rocky Mountain locust. Extinct in the 1900s. Nah, that's whack. Extinct from habitat conversion to farmland. I don't need locusts coming back. Although, here's the thing. You hear all this save the bees stuff. I'm not sure why we need to save the bees.
Because the bees help with tons of stuff.
Yeah, locusts probably do too. You know what we can all get rid of though?
Aren't they a part of like it's not the plague.
The birds and the bees?
No, locusts? Isn't that a big part of the Egyptian?
Plagues.
The plagues, yeah.
So
they get a bad rap, is what I think, because I don't want that.
Locusts don't get a bad rap. They get the appropriate rap for what they do, which is destroy crops.
Yeah.
They come down as punishment to, I think, King Ramses from Yahweh. They do their job.
Yahweh. Sorry. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. So, but here's something we can both agree on. This is what we should have talked about for the first place. What things should be extinct? Not locusts. I don't really care.
Sharks.
Mosquitoes.
Oh,
Sharks.
Mosquitoes.
How often do you have a shark problem?
I don't know.
Versus a mosquito problem.
Mosquitoes, I agree. I don't actually know what mosquitoes do to help.
I don't either. I'm sure they get eaten.
Other than get dye and amber to give us woolly mammoth DNA.
In Jurassic Park.
Isn't that not how they got the woolly mammoth DNA?
You know what? I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's Jurassic Park too, but that's what we talked about. Yeah. It was like frozen amber. So like, what else are they good for other than carrying DNA?
That's pretty significant though.
Yeah, but I don't need them to freaking bite me. We all know how that happens. It's probably going to come around again this year. My 30 plus
mosquito bites. That clip of Kelly talking about her mosquito bites on the show has like 130,000 views on TikTok.
Yeah, because everyone can relate.
Yeah, because it sucks.
Yeah, but mosquitoes are top of the list. No one needs mosquitoes.
Yeah. So
next on the list.
Okay, we're making a whole list.
We're not making a whole list. I'm just trying to think of things. There's really not really very much. Wasps. Why do we need wasps? We can
Yeah.
have bees. That's cool. But why do we also have wasps that can sting you as many times as they want?
'Cause they
They
bite
don't
you.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't need that. We cool. I could do away with those. Unless you can
Rats.
give me a good reason as to why we need them.
Well, tune in next week where we give you a comprehensive list of all of the animals and insects that we think should go away.
Give me an animal in the ocean that you think should be extinct.
Most of them. I mean, what are
Except
we
for
doing?
octopi.
Octopi are the coolest.
Yeah.
Jellyfish, they don't need to exist. They're beautiful and cool.
Yeah, I was like, I think they're beautiful to look at, so I'm cool with them. Crabs are cool too. Kind of
Crabs could go away.
Any other fish though?
Sea snails. See you later. Don't need that. Clams,
Sea
mussels,
snails.
mollusks.
We
Don't need
them.
those.
I'm sure there's a reason for all of them. but we don't-
Barracuda, not an ocean
A little bit.
fish. but
Piranha. I could get rid of piranhas.
Also not an ocean fish, but
It's
yes.
not, but it swims.
It swims.
It's more what I meant, like things that can swim.
Oh, electric eels.
Those
Actually,
are
just
pretty.
any eels. Period.
What if you come in contact with an electric eel?
More often than you'd think.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's still never, but I do have a fear of that.
Yeah,
Because
my fear
when they
is
bite
sharks.
down, like that Gila monster story from the other week,
Gila.
when an eel bites down, its jaws like clamp shut and you can't get it off. At least that's what I was told as a kid.
You don't know.
Yeah, but I never looked it up, so
That's what
a
you
belief. It's just a belief. Let's move on to the next story.
Okay.
Now that we've solved that,
You know what also
problem.
bites down?
a segue.
A shark. And it has
Oh
like
my
3 rows
God.
of teeth.
I
Just
saw a
like
video of a shark the
bite
other
through
day,
you.
and open its mouth, and then its jaw kind of like where its teeth are kind of came out from its body.
It's crazy. Creepy. Crazy. I
It
don't like it.
was so crazy.
I don't like it.
Sharks are not my favorite. I'm sorry. Oh, stingrays. Out of
Oh,
here.
you killed Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Get out of
You
here.
know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Love Has One cult. Speaking of Steve Irwin, who is on her board of people
Was he
she's already been.
really?
Yeah.
She mostly talked about Robin Williams, and I was like, you
Yeah, it's
crazy
very weird.
lady.
We are big
And
into
Donald Trump.
yeah,
Not dead, but is on there.
we're big into like cults
Doc-
docu-series, and we really love being in
Big
our
into
cults.
cults.
We
Full
love
stop.
being in a cult.
That's what that was. Full stop. We're big into cults,
Yeah.
documentaries.
Yeah, and we watched this one on Max or HBO or whatever
Yeah.
the heck we call it now, called Love Has Won, which is way recent. Like there's footage from 2021 or something.
Well,
Like,
this year because they filmed 1 year later.
oh yeah. And I
Yeah.
love that. It's like this just happened. I
Spoilers.
didn't even know. But yeah, check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. Love Has Won on HBO.
Mother God.
Here's something a little bit lighter.
Mother God.
Oh my gosh. This article is entitled The Philadelphia Phillies Are Scrapping $1 Hot Dog Nights Following Unruly Fan Behavior. First of all, how great is that photo?
So great.
So great.
We didn't go to a Phillies game. We almost did.
No, we did. No, we went to a Red Sox game.
We almost went to a Phillies game, but we didn't know we could.
Then this
we
article is not as exciting
We
to
didn't
me
know if we
then.
could make it in time, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do that. Well, there is some stuff to glean from this.
Okay, let's
And
go.
I'll be honest, the way they wrote it was really fun. So some of it, I'm just going to give you the highlights
Go
of,
for
and
it.
some of them I'm going to read it. Here's what it
I'm
says.
ready.
For more than a quarter century, Phillies fans consider Dollar Hot Dog Night amongst the best ballpark promotions. But the team has now decided that it was the worst. WURST. Hi-oh. Those dog days of April. Get
Are
it?
over.
The dog days
Yeah.
of April. When Philly weather is cold and the wieners are a steal. They're gone, gone, gone. Going, gone. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
all written in like baseball puns. It's
Yeah,
great. The Phillies officially ended the promotion on Thursday and replaced dollar dogs on select dates with 2 for $1. Not as cool. Dollar hot dogs versus 2 hot dogs for the price of 1. How much does it cost to get a hot dog at Dodger Stadium? $12 or something?
A lot. Not 12, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
They're also like double the size, but that's the point.
So here's what happened. What wasn't positive about dollar hot dog nights? Well, armed with projectile Frankenfurters, some unruly Phillies fans began chucking their favorite Hatfield meat during a game last year, and the dogs soared like cans of corn throughout the stands and onto the field. The demand for the discounted dogs also led to clogged lanes, if not arteries, on the concourse, and the cramped spaces led to security and safety concerns. So they stopped doing this, and the reason was, quote, based on the organization's ongoing commitment to provide a positive experience for all fans in attendance, we're stopping this.
That's
People
fair.
were buying, can you imagine? People were like, here's $20, give me 20 hot dogs. And then they just start chucking hot dogs
That's insane.
like at the outfilders and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I get why they stopped it. For the record.
Totally.
Now you get 2 for 1, suckers.
Which is not nearly as good.
No, but it's better than full price.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I read this article, in my head, I did think that we had gone to a Phillies game with Katie and John.
No, it was a Red Sox.
But no, it was a Red Sox game. Because I was like, can
In
you
Boston.
imagine the Boston fans
Oh, yeah, and we're not there.
are out of their mind,
Yeah.
so rude. They were heckling the other team's
you want
players.
a hot dog? I'll give you a hot dog.
That's what I was thinking. Because in my head it was Boston, whatever. But I was like, these people would
Philly,
definitely.
which is close,
It is really close,
and we
It
don't
is
know. If
so
it's
close you could probably throw a hot dog at.
That's
it.
right. That's right. But we don't know. They might have the same
Mm.
energy.
Mm-hmm. You used to go to Dodger Stadium when there was like all you can eat, like
Yes.
outfield seats, right?
In the out, yes,
I never did that. What was that like?
so great.
Really?
All you can eat, baby. All
You
you can
can throw.
Yeah, we would have competitions who could eat the most, which look isn't the healthiest thing. But
Mhm.
when you're like in high school or in college and like you don't really gain weight because you're in high school and college,
Yeah.
you can eat whatever the heck you want.
Do you remember what your record was in terms of how many hot dogs you
I
could
think
eat?
I had 3.5 hot dogs, maybe 4. I think I had 3.5 hot dogs. I had nachos.
And these are foot-long hot dogs.
Yeah, I had nachos. I had popcorn. I had 2 sodas.
Dang. If I met you back
And
then, I would have
ice
thought you were
cream.
pretty cool. We
Thank
would have gotten
you.
together.
It was a
would've gotten
lot.
married.
What else can you get at Dodger Stadium?
In terms of food?
Yeah.
Churros, pretzels. I don't know.
I don't know, but we had a lot. We ate a lot.
I'm sad
I
that
beat
I
out
never had
most
that.
of the girls.
Any of the boys?
Yes,
Dang.
not all of them though. But
No,
some
of course
them.
not.
And it was fireworks night too, so then we got to go out on the field.
Did you only do it once?
No, I did it a couple times, but this is the one time I remember where we were competing, like who can eat the most.
I see.
But yeah, I think I'd been with my parents a few times.
For hot dog
They took it away.
Yeah.
All you can eat, not hot dog night. All you can eat.
I mean, there's always hot dogs at the games.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another
okay,
time.
though.
Well, sorry, Philly fans. You're just going to have to get
2 for
2
1,
for 1
baby.
on select games.
Go get
in
your
April.
cheesesteak. It's what you want anyway.
Dude, Philadelphia and their cheesesteaks.
Kabibbles.
Ish
Ish kabibbles
Oh, so good. If you're in Philly, go to Ish Kabibbles, get
So
yourself a
good.
cheesesteak.
with the
Wit
cheese whiz.
Yes.
Whiz.
Wit, however you say it. Got to put the whiz on there. It's so good. It's so freaking good. I miss Philadelphia.
We can go back.
Yeah, we're going to Colorado instead.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Tell us what we should get in Colorado.
Except for
Nothing.
high.
Yeah.
We go to the first place to legalize weed. But that is not food.
No.
You ready for some
And
unpopular?
the best way to travel anywhere is to eat your way through the town.
It's
city.
true. That's what I tried to do at Disney World, and I didn't do that very successfully.
We should go back and try it again. Epcot and Animal Kingdom only, though. Nowhere else we need to go.
Yeah.
And then go to Universal because it's better.
Universal's pretty impressive out there.
Yeah.
I will admit. You ready to jump into some unpopular opinions?
To some unpopular opinions, yes.
All right, here's our first one. Unpopular opinion number 1. Traveling doesn't make someone more interesting. Traveling does not make someone more interesting.
I think it depends.
I think that I disagree with this.
That traveling does make people. You
More
think that
interesting.
traveling makes
Yes.
people more interesting?
I do. Because
Thank you. I was going to be like, what?
I think it's, at least in my experience of traveling,
Uh-huh.
it has expanded my understanding of what the world is
Yeah.
and what other countries and cultures do. And it has helped me undo and rewire some of this, like, America's the best country in the world indoctrination that I think every country kind of indoctrinates their people in a certain way.
Yeah.
And America is clearly like, we're number 1, and you believe it.
Yeah.
And then you go to other places and you're like, they have free healthcare, free public, or not free, but like public transportation that's thought
works.
out.
Yeah.
They, they pay you for vacation time. And sometimes they're like,
Holiday?
like make sure you take it. And they have some places have siestas in the middle of the day. Like,
yeah.
it's not, I think it makes people more interesting because when you get exposed to more cultures and countries and that kind of stuff, you have a bigger understanding of what the world is and less of a myopic view, I don't know, of what the world is, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. I think it depends on how you travel and what your intention is when you're going to travel. I think there are some people that travel to say that they traveled and to experience what they think is the important thing to experience. And will stay at like the highest or the best places you can stay, but not really experience any of this other stuff that you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes you more interesting. I think that it just gives you clout that you think is important. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
but what is that? Like the Instagram models of the world? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Like, and that's mostly people that are like, oh, I went to Paris and like I had a beautiful view of the Eiffel Tower and here it is and all this stuff. But I'm like, but did you like walk around? Did you go and like see anything? Did you experience anything? Did you do a food tour? Did you sit at a cafe and like drink stuff? Did you walk to the Eiffel Tower and like see it and experience it? Like,
Yeah,
I think that's what I think makes people interesting and allows them to see the things that you're saying is like actually like getting to change your perspective. I think there's many ways to travel where you don't actually see that, where you stay at the Ritz-Carlton or the whatever, you know, the fanciest hotel that you can, and you just kind of live there and then do all the touristy things. Not that we haven't done the touristy things. I think we have.
and sometimes you should. Like if you're in Rome, see the Colosseum.
See the Colosseum, 100%. But also do other stuff. Like,
yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you hit on food tours. If we haven't really talked about that,
It's the best.
food tours is the way to experience
100%.
a new country. Honestly, maybe even a new state.
Just be ready because you're not going to like it all. And they're going to make you eat it anyway.
That is true. At least that was our experience in Paris. And I think we did another one in Rome. But let me tell you, so we were in Paris when we did the food tour. We were only there for like less than a day.
Yeah,
we took
it was very
the
quick,
underground underwater train over, and we took it back the same day.
Yeah.
But we checked out the Eiffel Tower, of course. But then we got on our food tour, which was like a history lesson. It was like having a personal guide.
Yeah.
We did it in Venice as well, in Italy. We had I think that wasn't a food tour. Was it a food tour?
Mm-hmm.
That one I don't think was. That I think
was
was
a
just
walking tour.
that had some food involved.
Yeah, we might have had some food, but it was a walking tour because we knew that we wanted to experience that, and then we had one set for Amsterdam, but that got canceled.
Yeah, well,
and then we did our own walking food tour.
Yeah, which was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah,
but it's so cool because you get to try a bunch of different foods. Yes, some of it you're not going to like, particularly if you're Kelly, and neither of us like wet, soft cheeses. That's what we learned from France and Italy, but we do love carbs and bread and chocolate,
100%.
and there's lots of that.
And
we
coffee.
do like cannoli, and there was lots of those. And not only are you eating your way through and enjoying it in ways that would probably cost you maybe more if you went from shop to shop and tried to do that, and plus you probably wouldn't do that. Like you wouldn't be like, let's get a baguette here and a croissant here and a cannoli here. Like you probably wouldn't do that. But you're also going to these local places or the best of in the area, which you can't figure out unless you're a local.
Yep.
And then you're getting the history, most of the time, the history of the area that you're in.
Yeah.
So you're eating while learning, while enjoying it, while immersing yourself. It is the way to go.
Yeah.
How much do you think a food tour costs us usually per person?
It depends on where you're going and what you're doing.
Like 50 to 100-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It was negligible for like the amount of time. It's like they're normally like 3 hours, and so you're spending $50 to $100 for 3 hours, and it just depends on what it is. But I don't think we've ever paid more than $100 per person on the food tour.
And it usually ends in some really cool, I don't even want to call it a restaurant, because you usually end up in like the basement of a cave, all sitting at a group table.
Yeah, it was
like
in Paris.
in these places, that you would never even know existed. So definitely get yourself on a food tour.
That one I think was maybe more expensive, but we also got to try like tons of wine and cheese and meat and chocolate and macarons and
it was awesome. I want to do that just in like some local states.
It'd be fun.
Like if we were in Austin, there's so much great barbecue in Austin, but there's probably a ton of other stuff that I would never try or never know to try.
That's true.
So we should look into that.
Colorado, maybe. What are you known for, Colorado?
Nothing.
But I think that traveling can make you more interesting. I also think it can just make you conceited or feel like
pretentious.
Yeah. Because I look at it, I agree with what you said. I didn't think about it in that terms of like you growing and you being like a better version of yourself. Yeah. I thought about it more in terms of like what stories, if you're interesting based off what stories you bring back from this. Like,
I guess that's
true.
You
experiencing the world? Are you being adventurous? Are you trying new things? Or are you just going and doing the things that everyone does? And so like, what stories do you have? We have tons of stories of crazy things that happened and crazy fun things that like is like fun and funny to share. And then we have some things that I'm like, I'm not really going to talk about the time that we just kind of walked around Paris on our own. It was good for us, but like, there's no story. Like I think it's interesting to tell the story of like, we were in Jesolo, which is in Italy.
I think it's pronounced Jesolo.
Jesolo, sorry. And it's just in Italy. And like, we needed to get a COVID test to get home and like
my gosh,
like all of that or driving in Ireland on like the wrong side of the road and like you like me being like, it's right, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think those are the things that make it interesting.
When she's yelling, it's right, not right and wrong. That means you need to turn right or stay right
left,
because the traffic goes the opposite direction.
Yeah.
What a freaking nightmare. If you want to hear more of our insane travel stories, we're going to be working them into some of the future Hardly Working Through It's because I am still working through the trauma of those.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
And you wonder why I don't want to travel anymore.
I think those things are interesting. Yeah, but that was our first travel, and we've done way more than that since. But I'm just kidding.
That was our first travel. First of all, not a phrase.
That was the first time we traveled together. Was when we went to
No, it wasn't.
Ireland.
We went to Boston together.
That was the first time we traveled outside of the United States together.
No, we got engaged in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, keep trying though. I will. You set them up. I will knock them down.
That was the first time we went to Europe together.
No, yeah, it was. Okay,
that's good. What I was trying to communicate.
Yeah,
you're right. Though we did get engaged in Vancouver. We'll tell that story another time. Look at all the interesting stories we have that I think make us interesting people.
Please keep listening to us.
Please.
Don't leave,
but,
please.
But like, I, you know what I mean? I think that those are interesting stories. I think if you're going to travel, that in and of itself isn't interesting. It's interesting when you have lived life when traveling.
Yeah,
you know? Because if you travel for work, no offense, it's you a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If you stay in your hotel room the entire time that you're somewhere and only come out to do your job, did you really experience the place that you were in?
No. And to your point, I didn't even see the White House in DC last week.
Yeah. But you know,
but I did see the big pointy monument, the Lincoln Memorial.
Lincoln Memorial.
The pointy one.
I've always wanted to go
I think
watch
that's where Nick
DC.
Cage lives. I think he has an apartment.
But I would have gone to see the White House. I would have walked by. Like, if you get to experience it, you have that story, you have that life experience. You get to see stuff. So that's what I think. I think you can be a world traveler and have quote unquote seen a lot of the world, but have you actually seen a lot of the world?
That's a good question. I did go out and try the local cuisine in DC. I went to this little hole in the wall called I think it's called the Yard House.
Oh my God.
Which
it's not local.
It's not.
It's
and
not
it's
a hole
honestly
in the wall. Not great.
Yeah. I don't like to speak poorly about people.
It's a big company.
Yeah. It was kind of middle of the road.
It has always been.
But I did go to a local bar. We were performing at the Howard Theater in like downtown DC, like truly right next to the Lincoln Monument and the White House. I was like, what do they call that?
Would have relived my best Bones moments.
You could have. You didn't.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big part of why you didn't.
Yeah.
But is that where Bones takes place?
Yeah.
At the Jeffersonium?
Jeffersonian.
What did I say?
It's Jeffersonium.
Jeffersonium?
Yep.
Was it?
No.
Okay. We did go to a bar right down the street for dinner, and it was great. Had a lovely chicken Caesar salad. Can't tell you what it was called. But also, we walked in, and I was like, what is happening? Miles was like, are they doing karaoke? No, it was Telemundo. Telemundo was there, like in the bar, shooting some Super Tuesday stuff.
That's crazy.
I was like, this is a weird time to be in Washington, D.C., baby.
We'll go back one day. And by go back, I mean for the first time I'll go.
It's so freaking far. It is so far away.
Yeah, I know. If you're in New York, it's...
Yeah, that's not so bad. Anyway, travel. That's what I'm saying. Get out and travel.
And don't just stay in your hotel room, but go experience stuff. And if you don't know what to do, get on a tour. Viator.
Viator. I don't know how you say it.
Viator. It's a great place to find something to review all of our stuff. They have great.
I will say, quick story. We've had 2 misses on Viator. One, the cab that we were getting picked up in Rome didn't show up.
Was that from Viator?
Pretty sure. And 2,
that was pretty bad.
Amsterdam food tour. That person didn't show either.
Yeah, but that person at least communicated. She was really, really kind.
She was, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she was like, I can't, and that wasn't her fault. That was more of the website's fault. She was very kind. She was coming from a funeral and was like, I said I wasn't available to say, I don't know why they did this, but like, here's the things I can send you, the places you can go.
Yeah.
So you can still have a good experience. I'm so sorry.
That sounds like an excuse. Lame.
Like the best.
Funerals happen all the time. We're only in Amsterdam.
Oh my
gosh.
But we were started at an amazing place.
Yeah, we were at like a flea market kind of place. Oh my gosh, yes. I did drop a stroopwafel all over your
I got some
dress.
Birkenstocks for like super cheap.
Yeah, you did. Because I guess they're made in Amsterdam.
I get
my sandals from Amsterdam.
But it was great. So we got those. I got a purse. The person I've been looking for forever. We got stroopwafels. We got some other stuff.
I'm sorry. It makes you more interesting that you've traveled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a fun story because I experienced it. Yeah. I didn't just be like, oh, my person's not here. Let's just go straight to the Van Gogh Museum. I went, let's walk this and like see what's in here and like shop around and buy some stuff and try things. And we should have gotten another stroopwafel.
That's true. And I will say the Van Gogh Museum, kind of a low light of Amsterdam for me.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Van Gogh. This is lots of talk about travel. I really
Van
like
Gogh.
Van Gogh. Van Gogh. I really like him. I was really sad that the sunflower.
Painting?
No, that was there. That the Starry Night painting wasn't
was like
there.
in LA or something.
Yeah. It is my favorite. I mean, I guess that is like the most cliche one, but it is. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I truly do. And I was really sad that it wasn't there. It was a lot of like self portraits, which is whatever and fine. But yeah, a little bit of a letdown, but still like some really cool parts in it. I did watch a woman faint in the Van Gogh Museum.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know where you were, but this lady like fainted before going up to the stairs, and my dad was like, "Do I jump in? Like, what do I do?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah,
you don't speak the language. Like, no.
You don't speak Amsterdam.
But he's also really good. He was like listening, and then he was like, "No, they've got it." But yeah, I watched her faint.
I think you're more interesting because you traveled.
Thank you. I think I'm more interesting because I travel too.
You want to do one more?
Want to know where else where I travel? I'm not going to tell you today. But keep listening to hear our stories about all of our travel stories.
Love it. Let's pick one or the other.
A good one, an easy one, a fast one.
Well, they're both pertaining to food.
Food ones.
First is DiGiorno pizza is the worst price to quality ratio frozen pizza, or the fancier mac and cheese. The fancier mac and cheese always tastes worse than the regular creamy mac and cheese.
That one is true. Give me Velveeta any day. I don't need your truffle oil with bacon and chives.
So you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, mac and cheese. Well, it's easy to answer. I don't need it.
Okay, I'm saving the DiGiorno one because I've got some real thoughts on this.
I know you do.
I really do, but we'll save it. I do agree, though, that, and I hate to say this because there's not a small amount of people in my life that believe that their homemade mac and cheese is God's gift to creation.
Did you put Velveeta in it? Because then it is.
No, it's not, though. Because look, you're not going to make a baked mac and cheese that's going to be better than like a Cracker Barrel mac and cheese or a Velveeta mac and cheese that I make on the stovetop.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be that good.
Yeah.
I don't care that she used 6 types of cheese. I don't care. In fact, I like it less that it has truffle in or on it.
Yeah.
Bacon doesn't help.
No.
Because
I don't want that flavor. It takes over.
Well, the main flavor of mac and cheese basically is saltiness anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, it's creamy and cheesy, but like it's very salt forward.
Yeah. What else can you add to mac and cheese?
It's
breadcrumbs. Don't need them.
It's the perfect food.
No, I'm saying, what else do people add to it?
Yeah, but breadcrumbs
I don't
make
need
it worse.
No, I know. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, what else is normal that people would? They were like, oh my gosh, you can get mac and cheese.
You said,
like,
what could you add?
Yeah, like what else? Because you just said the things. I was like, yeah, you can normally add like bacon.
You know what makes
truffle.
it really bad? Chicken. People who put like cubed chicken in
now
there.
You're just making pasta.
Now
and
you're
not
just
mac and cheese.
You're
it's
making
like a pasta.
Baby food.
Yeah.
You're like, this is how they'll eat their protein.
Yeah.
Is covered in cheese.
But yeah, like what else do people put in mac and cheese that they're like, this is upscale?
I mean, truffles, like I said, truffle oil.
Truffle oil. Breadcrumbs. No one needs that, guys.
Yeah, I think they do the
Bacon,
breadcrumbs to try to do the crust on the top. Chives? What? Why?
I don't know. I'm just.
I know.
Things.
I'm just
what
saying,
else
like,
do people
why?
put in? Ham.
No. That's a terrible
I've seen mac
idea.
and cheese with like tri-tip or brisket, something like that.
Okay, I will say this.
We found it. We found his line.
I wouldn't say. Oh, there is one thing, in my opinion, that makes mac and cheese better, but it is not a food.
What is it?
Drugs. And by drugs, I mean barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if they have these across the country. Stonefire, baby.
Yeah,
if you do like a barbecue chop salad with mac and cheese and you put some of that, not everywhere, don't mix it all in, but a little on top, little barbecue, little BBQ on that M&C. I don't know what that means.
But I need you to know that I just went to Stonefire with Ryan.
Yeah.
It's not great mac and cheese.
Really?
It's not the best mac and cheese I've ever had.
You know what's happened since COVID? And I don't know if it's because our restaurants have changed ingredients or what they're serving or whatever, but the illusion of restaurants has faded. Like that mid-range restaurant experience has gone away.
Yeah,
we went to Islands after COVID and we were like,
why?
Were we just coming for the surfboards and the cool action sports videos?
Yes.
Because the food's not great.
No.
Red Robin.
We used to be really good. I mean, now it just feels like
it used to be totally
decent.
acceptable.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's not.
It's weird.
Not great.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I don't know. They took some things off the menu and then we're like, we're probably never going back. Chili's.
I will never
Kellie's
eat at Chili's.
favorite restaurant.
I hate
Kellie
Chili's.
loves Chili's.
Hate Chili's.
Every time I'm like, where do you want to go? And she's like,
oh my God.
And I'm like, don't say it.
I once had a friend who had explosive diarrhea from Chili's at the restaurant within like minutes of eating whatever she ate. And I ever since that day, I was like, I don't want it.
I got bad food poisoning from claim jumpers. We both did.
Guess what? It's closed. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone. But then they put a Longhorn steak house or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been.
Isn't that? I haven't either. But isn't that kind of the same thing?
No,
not the same thing as a claim jumper, but the same type of restaurant. That like middle kind of not fast casual.
I don't know. It seems like a Texas thing, a Texan thing.
Well, that's a Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I mean, a bit long. I don't know. We'll have to look up the menu. We'll have to go try it out. We'll let you know. Is it middle of the road or is it
Texas Roadhouse?
We're all really good. I don't know.
Wait, back to mac and cheese. The only thing that I could say that makes it better is probably barbecue sauce. But
I agree with that.
But it's not an always thing.
No,
it's only a sometimes food. It's a sometimes thingy.
Yeah, and you could try to convince me otherwise, and you can really, really try. No mac and cheese. There is no. There is no regular mac and cheese better than Velveeta mac and cheese. And there is no better white cheddar mac and cheese than Cracker Barrel white cheddar mac and cheese.
Yep.
Those are my two forevers.
Yeah.
And I know you agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, yes, I probably prefer the Cracker Barrel white cheddar.
Cracker Barrel white cheddar is so good.
Did you grow up eating like the mac and cheese but did you ever do the like powdered cheese that you mix with butter and milk or something?
I hated Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah, that wasn't my thing either. We
would have that every so often, but we would have that sometimes, but 99% of the time we had Velveeta in the house. My mom loves Velveeta.
Yeah,
we'd have the big Velveeta cubes too that you'd like cut the.
Oh yeah, I never had those.
Yeah, and that's how
I had Cracker Barrel versions of that. I think my dad, before he died, would like to cook a lot, and he would always get, I don't know, I was too young to know the brand, but he would always get mac and cheese, and we called it with the goopy cheese, not the powder.
Not the powder, the goop.
Yeah, and the best part was, once you put all that in there, you still had a little bit left inside that metallic package.
Yeah, that has to be Velveeta, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah, because that is Velveeta. I don't know that there were any other types of mac and cheese that were like that.
I'll have to ask my sister.
Now we have Cracker Barrel, but...
It could have been that too. I don't know.
That didn't exist, though, till recently.
At all?
Yeah, in the grocery store.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Anyway, good memory of being a child and like a little hit
I always
of
thought
cheese.
You would hate Velveeta mac and cheese, but it makes sense now if your dad used to make that. That's why you like it.
And it's just good mac and cheese.
Yeah. But like sometimes with you and I, there are some things that I have that you're like, that's like, so we were never had that. You just said it to me the other day. This isn't about stuff you don't like, but like it is your reality. You said like your extremes were everything made from scratch or everything purchased. You never really lived in the realm where it was like you could buy something and then doctor it up or like
purchase it and add to it.
Yeah. Or like, make something with fresh items and like purchased items. So I mac and cheese was never something that I thought would be on your list of that.
You thought I was one of those people who liked homemade mac and cheese?
I don't know.
Sociopaths.
I have no idea. Your stepdad seems like he makes homemade everything.
I don't know.
Pies.
Everything. I will kind of give a shout out to a few food items. Chocolate souffles.
Oh, sounds so good.
Which always had like a thin chocolate sauce, but also like it wasn't a white chocolate sauce, I think, but it was like a white, creamier kind of chocolatey sauce.
I wish you'd have learned how to make that.
Yeah. Next thing, breakfast steak. It'd be a thin, like half-inch steak, New York strip steak. And then I don't know what seasoning it was, but he'd put it in like flour and probably salt and pepper and who knows what else, and then fry it up. And it would have it would kind of have a crust on it. Not like a hard crust, but a little bit of a crust.
Yeah.
It was really good. And the third and final food shout out from my stepdad is homemade pizzas.
Oh, and pizza oven.
Because, yeah, he has a huge pizza oven. We're talking like 15 feet tall outside. Like it's not like the ones you see on Amazon or whatever, where it's like a little metal box. This was a wood burning pizza oven. And that was like some of my best childhood memories happened in that backyard next to the pizza oven because there was a pool and a jacuzzi and it was good times. But yes, so I understand why you think that. And there's my top 3 childhood stepfather food items. I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting. Anyway, time to wrap it up.
Cool.
We've got, we mentioned it earlier, but a couple shout outs to the things that we're looking forward to.
Yep.
We've got our Oscars party that we're attending on Sunday, which is a couple days from now. And then we have to get out of there
To a
because
work one.
Kelly's got an Oscars party that she's working, which is so cool. I've only worked one Oscars after party thing. So like you're just coming up to all of my accomplishments.
Thanks,
Soon
babe.
you'll be like, I just did the Super Bowl and
No.
I just
No.
Well, we got that. Very excited about that. You've got your Paramount movie premiere coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
It's going to be very exciting. And I've got my X-Men premiere. I'm not sure if we're calling it a premiere, but whatever it is.
Yeah.
X-Men premiere.
And then I have another event at the end of the week. And then we leave for Utah.
And then from Utah, you leave
To
for
Knoxville.
Tennessee. And then
Tennessee.
from Utah, I leave for Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And then we'll give you all of those details and whether or not we survived all of the travel.
Next time on Hardly Working.
Bye. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching and being a part of the season 4 kickoff episode. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope that you know that you're loved and we love you and I love you.
I love you too.
And I hope you spend most of your time
Hardly working.
We'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Sounded like those things that you
Didgeridoo?
Yeah. Didgeridoo.
I think you didgeridoo don't do that anymore. I think it's offensive to the indigenous people.
I'm not trying to be offensive.
Wow, 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 wow.